Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'd first like to welcome our live studio audience from Brookside Elementary here in Big Rapids. And today's show, we'll talk Bulldog Hockey, we'll recap the trip to Alaska, and we'll also update you on the season finales and the final two games for the Ferris State basketball teams. We'll start first with head coach Bob Daniels and Bulldog Hockey. And Coach, welcome to the show, and welcome back from, I know it was a long trip to Alaska.
It was a long trip, and we got back late last night, and it's good to be back. And while we didn't win while we were up there, but certainly we played good hockey, but more than anything, just glad to be home.
I know certainly that trip certainly a challenge in terms of the travel and getting prepared to play, and also getting back home and getting ready for what will be the final weekend here of the regular season.
Yeah, it is. It is a long way, and it's a long trip. And I think the fact that there's a 4-hour time change is probably what throws everybody off the most. And usually it takes us a couple days when we return to kind of get our bearings straight again. And then, as you said, this weekend, we currently reside in first place, tie now with Minnesota State. We each have 2 games left, so there's a lot on the line. We're chasing, hopefully, our first ever WCHA championship, and it's something that we'd like to bring home, and so we still, in effect, control our own destiny.
We'll go to the highlights of Friday's game first, and a quick start by Alaska. They score 34 seconds in. Was a battle trying to come back from that the rest of the night.
Yeah, it sure was. And on their first goal, one of our defensemen, he falls down. I think you'll see. Well, it looks like they already have it on there, but he fell down, and it was just a tough play for him. Actually, in this game though, we played very well. You'll see the good chances, but we get quite a few opportunities to score, and we hit a couple goal posts, but I think we threw close to 40 shots on net. So in a lot of respects, we actually deserved a better fate than losing 4-1.
It was a 1-0 score until the second period, and they were able to get a couple goals in the second period.
Yeah, they were, and I got to give them a lot of credit. They were really playing well this weekend, and they seem to be really finishing off all their opportunities. And it's not that we played poorly as much as I thought. They just played very well.
You had won 6 of 7 games going into the weekend, but Alaska, a team that was coming in on a little bit of a roll as well after a bye weekend the weekend before.
Yeah, I think they had now won maybe 7 straight, so they're obviously starting to feel it. And they're, like a lot of teams in our conference, they're very difficult, they're very tough to play at home. They get quite a bit of a home rink advantage there. And we're looking at around, they get to draw about 4,000 fans a game, so it's a pretty good atmosphere. One of the things you can note too, maybe on the highlights here, is they play what's called an Olympic sheet of ice, and that's an extra 15 feet of width. And so, I think as a team, I thought we adjusted pretty well. I do think it had a bearing, though, on our goaltenders in terms of C.J. Mott's angles. You're used to certain markings on the boards that they can get their angles from, and it was a little bit different on this surface.
You come back on Saturday night, game 2, and I know they had great crowds both nights. A difficult environment to play in up at the Carlson Center.
Yeah, it's a real healthy environment though, and while it certainly benefits the home team, no different than what we get here from our student section. It benefits them, but it's good to play in front of large crowds. Here's a goal coming up right now by Corey Kane, and we were shorthanded at this point, got on the board early to go up 1-0. Corey Kane, by the way, had a tremendous weekend, as good a weekend as he's had, although he's been playing very well here in the second half. And Andy Huff, I thought, had a great weekend. So we got a lot of mileage out of that line.
We talked about that line earlier before we went on the air, and certainly 2 seniors that are really stepping up here at the final stages of the season.
Yeah, it is. And you'd like to see your seniors playing the best hockey near the end of the year. Here's Ryan Lowney's first career goal on the power play. Good play. Again, I thought Corey Kane set that goal up. But I think that's the first of what's going to be many for Ryan Lowney.
It was tied up going into the third and final period, and right there, an opportunity to win the game, but unfortunately kind of got away from you here in the third.
Well, the last goal you just saw them score went off our own defender's skate. We knocked that right into our own net. Here was a pretty strong collision between one of their players and our goaltender. But all in all, it ends up 5-3. And there was a lot of scoring here in the third period. You'll see in a minute. We'll get our third goal, but certainly we're going to need to play better, and we know that. And like I said, though, it wasn't as though we played that bad as much as I got to give some credit to Fairbanks. I thought they had a strong weekend.
5-3 game on the finale on Saturday, and you return home this weekend, taking on Lake Superior State for the second time this season. You mentioned it earlier, tied with Minnesota State atop the WCHA, and two very important games here in the final week of the regular season.
Well, it is. It's not only important to us, it's certainly important to Lake State too. And we're all fighting for playoff positions and different things. For us, certainly our goal right now is to try to win the regular season championship. For Lake State, they're looking to not only get in the playoffs, but to potentially get home ice in the first round. So there's a lot at stake. The standings are tight, and I think it'll all lead to really good hockey at Aveglaven this weekend.
Bulldogs have been outstanding at Aveglaven Ice Arena, unbeaten in conference play at home. A little bit different scenario this week with spring break starting. Talk about that crowd support, how vital that is, both here for the final weekend of the regular season and also the first round of the playoffs.
Well, it's really tough every year that when, in the last few years when we've had home ice in the playoffs or we've had a regular season, spring break always falls at the last week of the regular season, first week in the playoffs. And, all year long, it's really important for us to try to get home ice in the playoffs. And the reason is we enjoy such a great advantage with our crowd. And then at the fall and spring break, if we don't get the students there, we lose a lot of the environment in the arena. So we'd really like to encourage as many students to attend both the end of the regular season, where we are in pursuit of a championship, and then when we start the next pursuit of hopefully a playoff championship. You really want to take advantage of the fact that you're at home, and you can only do it if the fans show up.
Certainly, this weekend important as well. Senior weekend of 5 seniors that are going to go out as one of the top classes, maybe in terms of total wins in school history.
Yeah, they are. This is a class that's very much accomplished a lot of things. They were part of our CCHA championship team and the team that went on that year to the national championship game. So they've experienced a lot of positives, and I believe it'll probably go out as the most winning group or class that we've ever had here. So we're really appreciative. They've been quite a group. It's interesting seeing them come in 4 years ago, kind of fresh-faced, and see them mature over the course of 4 years and really become fine young men.
I know still a lot of hockey you hope left here on the schedule. The regular season final series this weekend, the first round of the playoffs. You win that, you go to Van Andel Arena for the WCHA championship, and then hopefully an NCAA tournament berth.
Yeah, well, that's all in our plans. That's what we want to accomplish. We'll start with this weekend, just to kind of stay focused on what's transpiring. But there's a lot of hockey and a lot of big hockey coming up now. This is where all the hard work throughout the entire season, it's payday, if you will, and so we want to be playing our best as we move into this weekend and beyond into the playoffs.
Well, Coach, best of luck against the Lakers this weekend, Friday and Saturday at the Aveglaven Ice Arena, and looking forward to some great Bulldog hockey.
Thanks, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.